This is APFC Milwaukee, an evening of action-packed MMA presented by Anthony Showtime Pettis. Tonight's event is sanctioned by the Wisconsin Department of Safety and Professional Services, Commissioner Mary Murphy Edwards. Our judges tonight are Brandon Mason, Gabe Sabatis, and Skylar Slay. And now this fight is 3 rounds in the APFC at a catch weight of 182 pounds. Sponsored by Third Coast T-shirts and Wisconsin National Guard. And now introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall and officially weighed in at 178.2 pounds. Coming in tonight with a record of 1 victory with 1 defeat and fighting out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Leonel El Niño de Oro Sabala. And across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 11 inches tall. He officially weighed in at 178 pounds. Coming in tonight with a record of no victories and 1 defeat and fighting out of Delavan, Wisconsin, Cody Peterson. And your referee in charge is Justin Brown.
Quick tail of the tape for our first fight of the night between Leonel Sabala and Cody Peterson. Is contested at a catch weight of 182 pounds. 29 years age for Cody Peterson, 7 years on the Child of Gold, 4 inches in height as well. We get right into it. Sabala gets cracked early by Peterson.
Peterson came out, just threw that right hand right to start the round there.
Some say gold is a soft metal, David Evans, but it sure hits like a truck. Sabala with the early knockdown.
Sabala getting a little bit of payback right there. However, that seems to just ignited Peterson. I think we have a fight on our hands, man.
Swinging and banging, 30 seconds in. Peterson tries to jab to get back into it. Sabala, once again, with a cannon of a right hand, barely misses.
Both of these guys are comfortable just putting their chins down, swinging for the fences here. And Peterson lands that big right hand, Ben.
Sabala gets back to his feet, but each man has been tested in this first minute. Separation to get the mouth guard back into the Child of Gold's piece, and we get brought back to the fence table.
What a frenetic pace to start off APFC tonight, man.
Hey, it sets the tone. Clinching here, Peterson with the control. Sabala getting some moments to rest, though.
Peterson doing a great job of controlling Sabala here with the underhook on the right-hand side. Nice knee to the body, strikes off of the break there.
Peterson backs up to the center. Minute and a half to go here in round number 1. Sabala seems to have all the wits about him. Nice connection from Peterson.
Pace settling down here a little bit. Let's see if these guys are going to be a little more measured in their approach going forward.
In terms of adrenaline dumping potentially in this first round, Sabala cracks with the right hand. Sabala really ducking inside the pocket there, David Evans. Defensively, maybe not the most responsible yet.
Definitely not. You got to be careful for knees coming up, leg kicks coming up down the middle whenever you dip your head like that. However, the feints are working, and he's able to establish a good striking presence off of some of those feints.
45 seconds to go in round 1 as Peterson cracks him again with the right hand. Talk about high caliber collisions when each of these men connect. Another right from the Child of Gold. Peterson clinching, pushing Sabala up against the cage. Seems like the grappling he has an edge in, David.
So far, we haven't really seen any legitimate takedowns yet. I would like to see him build off of the cage position there.
All-out war to close round number 1. Peterson and Sabala stinging each other as we head to the second round. couple replays here from that unbelievably energetic first frame. David Evans, walk me through it.
Man, this fight was fireworks from the beginning to the end of the first round. We saw Sabala get the knockdown. Then we saw Peterson come in, get the knockdown with the right hand. It just seems at this point, whoever lands clean is going to be the one that wins this fight. I mean, I doubt we'll see this going into a third round if it keeps up at this pace.
They didn't have a stool for Sabala at the beginning of that mid-round transition, so he was sitting on the ground. David, would that get in your head at all, right?
I mean, it probably will bother me a little bit, you know, but being a professional, you just learn to get over and have a short-term memory when it comes to things like that.
And talking about memory with connections and lands like we saw in round number 1, I'm sure their recollection is getting shortened with each combination. Cody Peterson, Leonel Sabala, round 2. Once again, Sabala goes for the leg kick. Peterson snatches it up.
Peterson caught that kick, did a great job following up behind it, pressuring in with some strikes. However, Sabala able to turn the corner now. He's in a more dominant grappling position here with a single leg.
Deep on the takedown, El Nino de Oro, cornered tonight by Chance Phillips, Benny Izari, and Eric Red Schaefer, representing that Red Schaefer MMA team.
Sabala looking to hit the angle here and step over that right leg of Peterson to get him down, but falls right into a triangle, Ben.
Dangerous for Sabala as now Peterson hooks that left leg. David, how can Leonel Sabala escape this position?
Well, if he's experienced and technical, what you want to do is get your hips in and try to get your head up. You'll see some people, whenever they get in the triangle position defensively, they'll panic. And you'll see them try to like scoot out and get their hips out. However, that just deepens the triangle. So what Sabala needs to do is exactly what he's doing right now, is just keep pressuring into the threat there and look to break his opponent's legs.
Cody Peterson opening the guard, trying to maybe throw up another submission here. But Sabala content to just rain down the left hand.
Sabala in a much better position now in half guard, just raining down left hands. Peterson doesn't look to be threatening more so off of his back. I mean, he threw the triangle off of the transition of the takedown. However, with his feet up in the air, what that tells me is he's not going to look to shrimp and pick a side and isolate a side to build towards a submission. He's going to look to either try to get his feet on Sabala's hips and push him away, or he's just going to be stuck on his back, but he has to do something.
1 minute to go in round number 2. It has been all Sabala as Peterson once again tries to find potentially a advantageous spot, but El Nino de Oro glides right over.
Peterson threatening the guillotine for a second there from the bottom, but I think he's just kind of using it as a distraction there. However, Sabala just comfortable pressuring forward, punching when he can, and now he's on the back position.
This first fight brought to you by Third Coast T-shirts and the Wisconsin National Guard. Couldn't do it without them. That's some creative knees to the midsection from Sabala.
I like that. In MMA, it's, you know, we get so caught up in being a wrestler, being a jiu-jitsu guy, being a striker. Sometimes you have to strike in the grappling positions. Sometimes the grappling can help you better in the striking positions. And he seems to be very knowledgeable there, throwing the knees to the body and softening up Peterson. Those are going to go a long way.
Sabala with a dominant round 2. We head to a third frame. So David Evans, lots of striking in the first round, and then in the second, it was all Leonel Sabala's grappling prowess. What do you anticipate in round 3?
You know what, I didn't expect to see that from Sabala, you know, especially given how he came out that first round just throwing blows and throwing caution to the wind, but he did a great job of making the adjustments in that second round, dominated majority of the grappling portion. I think if he's smart, he may have found a kink in Peterson's armor here, where if he can get Peterson on his back foot, level changes, maybe set up some shots and get back to that dominant ground position, we can see him maybe skate away with the third round and hopefully the fight.
And if you're Cody Peterson, what is the move in round 3? What do you return with?
Well, if you're Peterson, you kind of want to do the same thing. These guys have kind of been a mirror image of each other so far, just wanting to come out and throw haymakers. Peterson just has to move forward, maybe land some more strikes, throw a little more feints, and maybe fake some shots himself. Every shot he's gotten so far, he's fell into.
Round 3 between Cody Peterson and Leonel Sabala was a firefight in the first round. Second round, all Sabala. Third and final, we shall see. Peterson taking the center early. Sabala seems like he's touching the nose a little bit. Petag Moraov did break his nose, so maybe there are some lingering complications.
It's a nice leg kick there by Sabala, taking his head off center, throwing the right leg kick to the left leg there of Peterson. We've seen that a couple times so far in this fight, and as you can see if you look at Peterson's left leg, they're adding up.
A lot of bruising on that lead leg of Peterson. Sabala still content to be on the outside, not be the aggressor. Maybe trying to wait for Peterson to open up and counter him.
Peterson seems to be a little more labored in his striking at this point. Perhaps that grappling in the second round defensively took it out of him. Sabala seems to be the fresher fighter at this point.
Interesting moves there from El Nino de Oro. Minute 40 on the clock for this fight as Peterson glances with the right hand. And you can see the acknowledgement from Cody Peterson. Those leg kicks are hurting.
Sabala has to be careful just backing into the fence. Peterson being a pressure fighter, he's not someone you just want to take too many steps back against and put yourself in a bad position. He has some grappling prowess as well, and the more you put your back against the fence, the better position he's in.
Nice knee up the middle from Sabala, but Peterson gradually finding himself as this third round continues. Final minute between these two.
Sabala throwing some nice knees there from the Muay Thai clinch.
Gotta say, I like that jab from Peterson when he sticks it out there.
Sabala did a great job countering that time. Yeah, Peterson's marching forward, just coming in behind the jab every time. I think he needs to be a little more intricate in his striking, maybe switch it up, throw something behind the jab if he wants to see better success. But Sabala doing a great job of weathering that striking storm, and now he's in a better grappling position here. Back on that single leg as we've seen earlier in the second round.
Final 15 seconds. This fight could realistically be 1-1. Third round might decide it. Who has more in the tank in these final 10 seconds? Sabala desperately gets the slam.
And a takedown could submit that round, Ben. That's a great job by Sabala. Great ring, great fight awareness, being able to, like, hey, saying this, as you said it, this fight could be 1-1. How can I separate myself from my opponent? An explosive takedown and some ground and pound. If I'm a judge, I got to give you that round.
All that is gold might certainly sparkle here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Sabala getting to display the skill set that he felt he couldn't against Petag Moraov. Replay from this third and final round here is the slam in those closing moments. David Evans, I mean, that had some juice on it.
He went full Daniel Cormier, just picking up the single leg and tossing it over and slamming Peterson down to the mat, and then throwing some ground and pound on top of it to put an exclamation to an explosive fight.
Cody Peterson, some very good skills and fundamentals that he displayed. And again, we don't know, right? That slam was in the final 10 seconds. There were still 2.5 minutes of round 3 that Peterson was doing some solid work. But either way, I hope we see both gentlemen back soon. A lot of action here tonight. UFC Fight Pass card starts at 7 p.m. Central Time. Make sure you tune in for those final 6 fights and that flyweight showdown between Cody the Codebreaker Lynn and the unbroken Roy Echeverria. Judges taking their time with the scoring. David, what was your big takeaway from both guys through 3 rounds?
Both of these guys like to fight, I'll tell you that. I mean, there were times where technique just went out the window. And I love to see this at a very young ages in their fighting careers, so to speak. I mean, guys that just aren't scared to go out there and just push the pace. You know, they weren't in their heads too much. I mean, could either guy have done different things at either time? Could they have been more efficient? Could they have been more technical? Yeah, but what's a better learning experience than just going out there and just learning on the job?
Couldn't agree more. We send it inside to handsome Michael Hansen for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. And our first judge scored the contest, 29-28 Peterson. Another judge had it, 29-28 Sabala. And our third judge at cage side scored the fight, 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Leonel El Niño de Oro Sabala.
The Child of Gold wins by split decision. Makes good on a dedication to his grandmother Petra, and finally finds himself victorious under the Anthony Pettis Fighting Championship banner. David Evans, what an effort and performance from this